Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I'm just trying to get my laptop set up here so I can make sure that I'm on. Yes, there we go. Okay, so hope you had a good week. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. I wanted to talk today about why exercise is unnatural. Hey Gina, how you doing? You're the perfect person to talk to about this. So the reason that I want to talk about exercise and the fact that it's unnatural is because I talk with people all the time at Arena Fitness. And oftentimes, I can't tell you how many times I've had the conversation where people say to me something along the lines of, I just don't like working out. Or I have a hard time staying consistent. Or I'm just not a gym person. Something along those lines. And it doesn't surprise me that they say it because I know this. I know because I've been working in this business for 25 years and I've talked with thousands of people. And I know that the overwhelming majority of people don't really like to work out. But you also just have to take a look at the statistics. If you look at the data, you'll see that, globally, or at least in industrialized nations, and for sure in the United States, people are not getting physical activity. And they're certainly not getting as much physical activity as they want to. But the part that's striking to me when I have this conversation with people is that when they tell me that they don't like to work out, there's always kind of this sense of embarrassment or shame. Like there's something wrong with them. Like they feel like there's something wrong with them. But the reality is there's nothing wrong with you. If you don't like to work out or if you struggle to maintain consistency, it makes a lot of sense. It's perfectly natural. Now, that doesn't absolve you of getting your physical activity. Your body still needs physical activity for optimal health. You need physical activity for marginal health. But we can talk about some strategies for that later on. But if you don't like to work out, you're normal. Here's why. So I talk all the time about evolutionary science because I think it's important to understand where we've been and how we evolved and how we adapted in order to understand why we are the way that we are now. So for millions of years, we were incredibly physically active. Before the agricultural revolution, we were hunter-gatherers, and for 3 to 6 hours a day, we would go out and we would forage and we would hunt. We would walk, we would run. There would be bursts of intense, high-intensity exercise. We would fight, we would kill, we would drag, we would carry, we would dig. We would do everything physically necessary to get the calories that we needed to survive, and we were migratory. We were nomadic, and so we never stayed in the same place for very long. So physicality or physical activity was a part of our lives for millions of years out of necessity. It wasn't exercise, it wasn't recreation, and it probably wasn't fun. It was survival. And I can guarantee you that had, hunter-gatherers had a Taco Bell in the corner, they would not have opted for, 4 hours of foraging and hunting on a daily basis. They would have done what we do, which is dial Uber Eats or go down the street to, Trader Joe's and get a kitchen full of groceries. So we evolved in an environment where for millions of years, it was a necessity, it was a requirement. We had no choice. We had to be physically active. It wasn't exercise, it was survival. And even when the agricultural revolution came around, then we became farmers. Farmers is not easy. Farming, rather, is not easy. That's a tough life. As a matter of fact, in very many ways, the agricultural revolution or farming actually was much harder on our bodies physically than when we were hunter-gatherers. So up until the Industrial Revolution, we had no choice but to be physically active on a daily basis, simply to gather up enough calories, simply to survive for that day, and then get up the next day and do it all again, whether we wanted to or not. So we did not develop adaptations for exercise. We did. And you can get, more calories from your kitchen in 45 seconds than you'd be able to get in a week's worth of foraging and hunting. So our environment's changed. Our brains do not discern between healthy and unhealthy. They really just discern between survival and threat to survival. So at the end of a long day, if you come home and you're tired and you feel like sitting on the couch, you have the option of either sitting on the couch and watching TV or running around the block. Your brain is going to nudge you towards sitting on the couch. And that's because, again, we came from and we evolved into an environment of scarcity. So we never had the luxury of recreation. When we were hunter-gatherers and we were done with the day's foraging and hunting, there was leisure time. It was just leisure time. We would lay around, and we would lay around because calories were scarce, recreation or exercise is expensive. We couldn't afford to expend the calories unnecessarily, so we laid around to conserve energy. Also, we needed to let our bodies kind of heal and recover for the next day's hunt. We couldn't risk the chance of being injured or just, not being physically capable of getting up and foraging for a day's worth of food. You didn't have the option of waking up and going, yeah, I don't feel like doing it today. That was never an option. So, if you don't like to exercise, if you have a hard time being consistent, if you don't look forward to it, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone. I've been doing this for years. I still don't look forward to my workouts. I do it anyway, but I don't look forward to it. And then, at another time we could talk about some solutions for things that you can do to kind of get your physical activity in, whether you like it or not. But it's important to don't beat yourself up if you don't like, exercising. That's perfectly normal. Understand that is a byproduct of how we evolved in an environment of scarcity, and our bodies are really we're really programmed at this point to conserve energy whenever we have the chance. Look, man, it's a hard sell trying to get yourself to do something when the hangover comes first. When the shitty part comes first, and then the satisfaction and the reward comes second. That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. And that's essentially what physical activity is. You've got to go through the discomfort or the displeasure of the activity first, and then you feel good about it afterwards, and then you get the reward afterwards. But it's a tough sell when the hangover comes first. So, lesson of the day, physical activity, recreation rather, more like exercise and recreation, are unnatural based upon how we evolved in our environment of scarcity. And Gina Cavello, longtime member of Arena Fitness, she's saying it can be fun. It can be fun. It absolutely can be fun. But if you don't look forward to it, that's perfectly natural. There are plenty of times when I am not looking forward to my workout of the day. Listen, it's going to be 95 today, and I got to go running at some point. That's going to suck. If you think I'm looking forward to that, you're out of your mind. Now, there are plenty of times when you can, not necessarily be looking forward to your workout and yet get into it and have a great time and enjoy yourself and finish and feel rewarded. But I think the key message here is not that exercise is not fun. It's not that exercise is never going to be enjoyable. The message here is that if you have a difficult time getting yourself to exercise consistently, or if you don't like it and are wondering what the hell's wrong with you, the answer is absolutely nothing. You are simply responding to the adaptations that we developed as a species for millions of years. So Sherry's saying maybe swing by Taco Bell. Dude, I mean, absolutely. Like I said, that's what the hunter-gatherers would have done if they had the choice. They didn't go out and spend 3 hours a day hunting and tracking and fighting and killing and dragging and cutting and chopping because they thought it was fun. They did it because Taco Bell wasn't available at that time. So anyway, that's kind of it for today. I wanted to keep it short. I just wanted to say that if you don't like exercise, if you find yourself struggling to maintain it, if you're asking yourself, what's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the way that we evolved as a species. You still have to do it. You've got to find ways to do it. You've got to find ways to enjoy it as much as you can. Like Gina's saying, if you believe it's fun, then it will be. And if you find other people to do it with, the value of social support and surrounding yourself with other people while you're training certainly makes it a lot more enjoyable. It's not all that fun doing it on your own, I can tell you. So that's the message for the day. Have a great week. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, post them in the comments section. If there's somebody that you know that you feel this could benefit, feel free to share this information with them. I'll be back next week to talk about some more stuff. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in.